pushed its opponent away and broke up. How do we know all this? Am I just spinning you a yarn? What you see in front of you is the closest representation of the Roman army at war in the 1st century AD. It's based on archaeological, literary and sculptural evidence. So this is as close as you can get to facing the Roman army in the modern day. Now, the Roman army were masters of battles on the open field, but they were also masters of siege warfare. And we're going to give you a taste of Roman artillery as well today, the 3rd major branch of the land army. Now, we have 4 different types of projectile weapon. We have, closest to me, with a single vertical arm. This is the onager, this is the big boy, this is a major siege weapon. In the centre is the catapulta, which will be shooting bolts. The far side is the ballista, shooting balls, and when we have a group of archers furthest away. It'll give you an opportunity to compare the relative strengths of each weapon. Now, starting with the bows. Now, bows and arrows are as old as mankind is. A bent piece of wood, a string, an arrow. But their great advantage is simplicity of use and rate of fire. These could shoot more often. They could lay down a barrage, unlike the other weapons. The other weapons are distinctly different. They base their power not on bending a piece of wood, but on twisting rope. It's called torsion. The stored energy in a twist of rope. If you look carefully, each of the arms of these machines is in a thick tangle of rope. The arms are pulled back on a ratchet. You'll hear some clanking, and that's the ratchet. The arms are pulled back against that. The energy is built. The ammunition is loaded. We're just making sure there's no one in the way, no animals, no people, because these are lethally powerful, ladies and gentlemen, even at restricted power, which we have to use today. So remember, in the centre, the machine is shooting bolts at those wooden targets. The ballista, which looks as though it's not working today, it's not crewed, that's not using, so the onager will be going for range. The catapulta is being loaded up. These are like heavy arrows it's shooting. So let's see, first shot aiming at the targets from this iron-headed bolt. Let's see what it's got. Just checking. Low, but clicked his toes, I think. And the onager, this is going for range, remember. This is a siege weapon. Again, just checking on. Shot from the onager. Yep. Imagine being bombarded with that. Oh, the ballista has been run out. So you can hear it. The ballista being wound back now. Clank, clank, clank. That's the ratchet. These machines are too strong to be pulled back by hand. So they have to be wound back against a ratchet. The Romans did not invent these machines. The Greeks invented these, but the Romans perfected and used them en masse. Another shot from the catapulta. It's been loaded. Another shot from the catapulta. A little low again. I think we're being cautious. We don't want to lose the arrows. We don't want to overshoot into the fields if we can avoid it. Now, the ballista and catapulta, the two larger, the archers are all ready to go. So again, we've got 5 archers, giving you some idea of the volley power of these weapons. Showering missiles onto the enemy. And just keep an eye on them. They'll be constantly shooting, I think. They can give you a go of the rate of fire. And again, the catapult has been loaded again. Again, showing you it's the fastest load. It's the smallest, but it's the fastest to reload. First shot from the ballista, aiming. Whoa! So you see, that's why we've got to be careful. That's the first shot from the ballista. Now we've got a man spotting on the bank, so we're going to hold the barrage for a moment. We don't want to risk any injury. As I said, these are lethally powerful weapons. So as I was saying, the two larger weapons, the ballista and the onager, they're correct size, but they could be far larger, and they were used in sieges. The catapulta could be used in sieges, but also in open battle. And we know from sculptures that they could be mounted on the back of carts, like mobile artillery. And we know in the right hands they were accurate enough to pick off enemy commanders, rather like a sniper's rifle. Now, we think that there was one of these weapons for every century, 60 centuries to a legion. Imagine 60 of this happening to your army. Imagine the damage that would do. The Celtic army would have no way of responding. Another shot from the catapulta. Imagine the damage 60 machines like that would do, laying down a barrage on an unarmoured opponent. Another volley from the archers going in there. Build all this up in your mind, the archers shooting, the catapulta shooting, slingers perhaps, raining down missiles on your army. Again, how long would an undisciplined force stand up to that? Still